All right, hi guys, this is Jackie from techjackie.com. Welcome to another video on SEO. In this SEO video, I'll explain to you the SEO Avalanche technique, which is a strategy which will help grow your site's authority and future-proof your website against any Google algorithm updates. Okay, so here's some of the graph that the website that have implemented this SEO Avalanche technique, and this techniques works for all kinds of websites. So whether you're an affiliate website, software websites, or e-commerce website, this SEO Avalanche techniques works for all kinds of websites, and especially works really well for new websites with low budget, especially for affiliate marketers out there. If you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of budget, this technique works really well. And it also works for every language as well. Pretty much works for everything, right? And it is something that you should really be considered when you do SEO for your website. So first, let me explain what is SEO Avalanche technique. Now, it's the process of strategically choosing keywords and publishing content that falls within your site's natural traffic tier, which I'm going to explain in a second. What is it? To slowly build up the authority and trust without actively going for boost factors. Again, I'll talk about what is boost factor in a second. So traffic tier is defined as the search volume of keywords that your site can rank for based on a total number of visitors per day over a period of 1 month or 30 days. So essentially traffic tier is nothing but the search volume of keywords that your site can actually rank for, right? Like there's basically a ladders or a steps where your site can actually rank for different search volumes, which I'm going to explain in the next slide. What is actually the traffic tiers. And for boost factors, nothing but it's just an off-page factors that help speed up your rankings process. For instance, backlinks, right? So if you're doing SEO or if just starting out, you know that when you do SEO without doing things like backlinking or building backlinks, you know that it takes time, right, to start gaining some traction and traffic. But by if you build backlinks, they will help increase your ranking much faster, and therefore I like to call it as boost factors, right? And of course there are other boost factors as well, but mainly it's backlinks. So here's the table of how the traffic tier looks like. So I'm going to explain to you what it means. So here on the left hand side you have a tier which starts with level 0, and this is a traffic of your website, a daily traffic per month. So let's say you're just starting out, you have a daily traffic of 0 to 10 visitors per day in a month. Then this is the search volume of keyword that you should actually be going after, right? So let's say you have started doing SEO for some time now. You're now getting like 20 to around 50 of visitors per day. Then you should, try to rank for keywords that have roughly about 20 or 30 search volume per month, right? And I'll explain to you again how this works, but just keep in mind this table, right? So again, if let's say you're getting about 1000 to 1500 of visitors per day in a month, then you can actually start ranking for keywords, or you go ahead and create content around keywords that are having a roughly about 1000 visitors per month, right? Of not visitors per month, 1000 searches per month for that keywords. And here's the process. First, you have to open up your Google Analytics and check for the average number of organic visitors per day over the last 30 days. So go ahead and fire up your Google Analytics and then filter out for the past 30 days how many number of organic visitors your site is getting per day, right? You can take the average. Let's say this month you have like 1000 visitors per month, then you just take the average, so you're getting roughly about 33 visitors per day. Okay. Next up, you're going to be researching for keywords that have the same or similar search volume that meets your traffic tier. Preferably go one tier lower. So, once you know what is the daily visitors that you're getting for your website, let's say 30 visitors per day, then you're going to go back to that table that I show you and then look at um and then look at what is the search volume that you can actually be targeting when you're actually getting 33 visitors per day, right? And what I mean by preferably going one tier lower means, so let me go back. So let's say you're getting roughly about 30 visitors per day, then you're at this level 20 means you can only rank for website keyword that has roughly about 20 searches per month, right? What I mean by going one tier lower means you should actually preferably start ranking for keywords which has roughly about 10 searches per month. So let's say you're right here, then you should be targeting this. Let's say you're right here, you should be targeting keyword with 20 searches per month, something like that. So this is preferably, but obviously you can just start creating content around keyword, which has the same uh, the same level as you are right now as well. But especially when you're starting out, you would want to go maybe one tier lower. Okay, after that, create the content for that keyword, right? Properly optimize it, for the on page and everything. And then you're gonna be repeating the process and go for keywords with higher search volume as your daily traffic increases. So we're essentially building up we're actually building up an authority over time, right? So as your site start getting more and more traffic per day, then you can start targeting for more and more of keywords with a higher search volume, right? And the reason being is the higher the search volume, generally speaking, the more competition there is, right, for that keyword. And also the more strict Google is in actually sending traffic to your website. I'll explain to you in a second why it is so, but generally speaking, the more traffic you start gaining, the more keyword search volume you can actually start going after, right? So we're going in a more like a ladder here. So when you start out, you're gonna be targeting keywords that have roughly about zero search volume, or less than 10, something like that. And then as you start gaining more and more daily traffic visitors, then you can start creating more and more content around keywords that are having more and more search volume. Okay, so, and of course there's also an additional tip here. You can also start building links from time to time, and your site will also start acquiring natural links over time as well. So as you keep on publishing more and more content, over time you will also start gaining natural links as well, right? So that will also help speed up the entire process. And if you have budget, if you start getting some money from your website, then you can reinvest that into building more links, which will overall help speed up the process faster. And here's, let me show you a simpler example and math. So first, when you're starting out, you may have a plan of publishing 30 articles at a 0 to 10 visitors tier a month, which will equate to a roughly about 300 visitors at the end of that month, right? So let's make it a habit of publishing one article per day, right? So when you're at the 0 to 10 visitors tier, then now you're getting like 300 visitors per month, right? And then now you can move up to the next step. The next month again, you have a plan of publishing 30 articles, averaging of one article per day. But now the daily visitors has increased, right? So now you're at the 10 to 20 visitor tier a month. Now your total visitors have now increased to 600, and then this goes on and on and on, right? Until, let's say, at the end of around 5 or 6 months, you're now averaging about 15,000 visitors, right, per month. As you can see, more or less, you can imagine like climbing up the ladder, right? So I hope you're getting the idea here. And this is basically how it looks, right? As you keep on publishing more and more content, as you start getting more and more traffic, it's more or less like an avalanche, right? From the mountain, you can see something like this. And here's why this techniques works. First, Google is very strict at sending traffic to the website, right? Like Google is very strict, right? Is very careful about sending traffic to any website unless it really trusts it, right? So you have to first be able to gain trust from Google before Google starts sending more traffic to your website. And that's why we start out by targeting keyword with very less search volume in the beginning, And as you start getting traffic, then you can move on to the next step by targeting more keywords with higher search volume, right? And then this kind of become like a compound effect, right? So as you start getting more traffic, you start getting more trust from Google, and then you naturally can target for keywords that have a higher search volume, right? Which again will start sending more traffic to your website. And the second reason here is you grow your overall website's authority and topical relevance strategically. And what I mean by strategically here is, we're not just focusing on always publishing low volume keyword content, content around low volume keyword, but we're targeting this strategically means we're increasing the level of keyword search volume every month or every 2 months, depends on your natural traffic tiers as your site grows, right? So you're also going to be growing at a consistent rate over a period of time, rather than just always going after low volume keyword, right? Which I know many of you like to do because it's easier to rank, especially if you have low budget, when you can't compete for higher search volume keywords. Then you like to create low volume type keyword, but business wise, that's not a great way to approach. But rather, if you approach with this way, with this SEO avalanche technique way, you're going to slowly steadily increase your website authority and relevance, at the same time also increase your revenue strategically. And lastly, even if you're hit by any algorithm updates, you'll just fall back to your lower tier of traffic, which you'll still have something to fall back on. Now, whenever there's any Google algorithm updates, if your site gets hit, most of the time, those boost factors are taken away from you, right? Like maybe your backlinks over time have reduced its power or something like that. Then you're just being taken away those boost factors that you initially gain, right? And when your boost factors are taken away, what happens is more or less you'll just fall back to the other lower tier traffic, right? So let's say you were getting like 10,000 visitors per month, an update came, you got hit, now you fall back to something like 3,000 visitors per month, right? So you still have content that are in the 3,000 visitors tier, right? Those content which have that lower search volume, still you will still be able to you know um, gain some cash and some money from those lower tier keywords, right? And then of course, you can work on on recovering your website again as you start on a recovering process, right? So although you can still get hit by updates, but you still have something to fall back on, right? Something to basically support you, right? But again, if you follow this technique, it's pretty much that you're gonna always pretty much you're not gonna really get hit by any updates, unless your content really sucks, right? So that's all for this quick SEO technique that you can quickly implement, and I hope this opened up a new perspective for you. If any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below and try to answer them as soon as possible. That's all for it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.